Hello and welcome back to Mars. I'm Mick and we're playing Stationeers. So you may already be aware or not, but we've just had our first update for the year. Now this one has dropped a few changes, few new goodies and a few other things on the way. So we'll just stop in and have a quick look at what's going on. Let's start with the obvious goodies we've got. We have got some nice new heavy duty solar panels. Now these ones will not get damaged by the storms, but they are rather expensive. Well, first up, it's five glass sheets to build one of these, and the kit itself will take 15 astroloy to make. So you're using your exotic materials in it. So if you've got a whole roof of them, it might be a gradual process to replace them all. Now, if you are replacing them all sort of here and there when you can afford them, it's important to know that your solar tracking system that you're using uses a batch writer to write to your solar panels. And you've got to know that a solar panel and a heavy solar panel are not the same thing. So if you are using both sorts of them at the same time, your one solar tracking system is not going to track them all. So if you are using your chips to track them all, it's just a matter of putting down another batch writer. One of them will write to the standard solar panels and the other batch writer will write to the heavy solar panels. They can both come off the same readings. That'll be fine. So keep in mind, pop down an extra batch writer to keep them all tracking with everything else. And on the power side of things, our wind turbines. They have been given a boost in power. They used to be 500 watts, which was pretty useless because our storms don't last very long. They are now 5 kilowatts. So that is an extreme help there. So I have a lot of solar panels and just a few of these is now enough to more than cope with the loss of the solar panels. They are producing 5 kilowatts each, so be careful of what cables you connect them to. These ones you pretty much have to connect to a heavy power cable now. Next on our list of new toys is our fancy new advanced mining belt. Take a look at that puppy. Fits a lot more ore now. Now all I need is an advanced tool belt so as I can fit in all the tools with the labeler, a couple of extra layers of coil, but well, I can always keep hoping for it. One day we'll get it. And it's not just the new toys we get from the update, there's a few other things there. We've got a new model for our daylight sensor. Our jetpacks have actually been slowed down, that's a bit boring. And our pressurised canisters, they don't explode as much as they used to. What's this? It's not like I've ever killed myself or anything. Now you might need to clean up your greenhouse act a bit because the plants are now more susceptible for damages and pollutants in the water and the atmosphere. So time to get out your green thumb and tighten them up a bit. And one thing that I find particularly exciting on this one has been an update to the IC coding. Who would have thought that I'd like that? We can now do batch commands from an IC. So previously you had to attach batch readers and batch writers and then attach them to the IC to be able to do it. Now I can do them directly from the IC itself, which means an IC with full dual access, full dual solar tracking is just that. One housing, one chip, a sensor, and that's controlling dual axis tracking from the solar panels. That's made it up a lot neater. Of course, my power manager system here, it used to need a batch reader to read the batteries and 2 batch writers to control the solar panels. Not anymore, it's just a single unit and that's it. So that will make for some interesting programs. It's also ruined a couple of my videos that I was making, a little how-to video on programming, and when I talked a fair bit about how you can't do batch writes from a chip. Well, I guess I'll just have to do a bit of re-editing on that one, won't I? Or I look like a bit of a noddy. Right, so with the good comes a few things people are probably not going to be so happy about. The super alloys have had a rebalance and now they are a lot more expensive. They're easier to make, but they're a lot more expensive. So if we look at our things like Astroloy, if you put in 25 copper, 50 steel, and 25 cobalt, you would have got 100 alloy. Not anymore. Now if you put in 25, 15, 25, you get 25 of astraloy. So it takes a lot more. But on the upside of this, you will be consuming more materials, but there's less reliance on cobalt and nickel, which are the rare ones. You do use a fair bit of steel as an ingredient, so pros and cons. And some of the temperatures once again have been changed just to make them, a couple of them they're a bit easy to make. Solder is now very easy to make. Low pressure, low temperature, it's all good. But yes, you will chop in a lot more materials, so get your Amy to work because you're going to be needing it. And I have been sorting through all the ton of materials that Amy did get me, and she picked up a heap of water ice which I didn't need, so I kind of just threw it away. And the thing about water is that it kind of runs downhill. So a slight problem. Yeah, my new wing for the base, or new floor for the base, is the hospital is a wee bit damp. So I was just about to fit it all out and get it ready to go, but I might have to do a bit of pumping out. There you go, big news, water runs downhill. Okay, the klaxon horn has got a heap of new sirens and sounds in it. So who remembers this one? I don't think that's an alarm.
Danger.
Got
Danger.
Voices
Warning.
as well.
Alert. Storm. Incoming.
Which has made me sort of make a new storm alarm.
1.
We'll get there.
Storm. Incoming.
I get a bit of warning now. It doesn't scare the crap out of me as soon as the siren comes on. Well, the siren is a bit quieter now, so it's still not as scary.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Of course, I've had way too much time playing with that. The really cool thing that has happened with the super alloys is they now no longer roll away. They're so valuable that the devs have allowed us to have something that is not just going to roll down the hill and disappear. We've just got to get them to remodel the other ones now and try and keep them in their place. Well, that's some good news for the alloys. Some of them are easy to make, they're just more expensive. That makes them more precious. And if anybody built a crap ton of them just before the update, well, good on you. You've done well. But anyway, that's just an update one, so just a quickie for today. So till next time, happy building. See ya.